Good afternoon. You're watching a special episode of Businessworld Live. I'm Jess De Los Santos. The nation mourns the passing of former President Benigno Noynoy Aquino III earlier today. Several LGUs, government offices, and agencies, including the Palace and Senate, ordered to have flags raised at half-mast in honor of Pino. Former President Senator Kiko Pangilinan were seen used to give a statement on the matter. Now, Supreme Court, he says it had been an honor to serve with the late former president, and services to the country. Now, like any other chief executives before him, former President Noynoy Aquino had experienced a fair share of controversies. However, despite these issues, the Philippine economy enjoyed a stable growth under his watch. In fact, domestic GDP grew at an annual average of 6.2% and twice exceeded 7% from 2010 to 2016. This growth was considered the highest since the 70s. It even peaked at 7.2% in 2013 when the Philippines became the second fastest growing economy in Asia next to China. In 2010, the Philippines ranked 115th in the Economic Freedom Index, but it managed to climb to 70th place towards the end of his term. Pinoy was also the president who challenged mighty China over maritime disputes at the West Philippine Sea. The International Tribunal in The Hague ruled in favor of the Philippines in July 2016, a month after Noynoy's term ended. His administration also pursued tax evaders, narrowed the budget deficit from a record level, and enabled the Philippines to score its first investment grade score. The fight against corruption was highlighted in the Ang Matuwid platform, driven by the philosophy that the country can alleviate poverty if we can rid it of the culture of corruption. Now, Cesar Purisima, Aquino's finance secretary, says the turnaround story of the Philippines from Asia's sick man to Asia's bright star is without a doubt one of Aquino's greatest legacies. The country's ranking on the Berlin-based Transparency International Corruption improved 11 notches in 2015 from 6 years earlier. His administration, however, was heavily criticized for not spending enough to improve infrastructure, with traffic jams triggering public outrage. Again, a sad day for Filipinos over the death of former President Noynoy Aquino, being heralded for how he led what was then a steady stream of growth for the Philippine economy, and that growth translated in the capital markets when he took oath in June 30, 2010. The PSEI was at 3,372.71, as represented by that white circle in that chart. But the economic growth path under his term helped provide a much-needed cushion for corporate earnings, and that helped push shares higher. At least when he ended his term, the benchmark index more than doubled from where it started in 2010, reaching close to the 7,800 level when he passed on the presidency to Rodrigo Duterte. Again, that is represented by the red circle right there. That's a 127% increase from July 2010 to the end of June in 2016. Now, in recent weeks, the index has been seeing a rebound after being heavily battered amid what is now touted as one of the longest and strictest lockdowns in the world. Specifically for today, though, the index logged 0.5% after a last-minute sell-off, now pushing shares lower once again. The index today ended at 6,886. The peso likewise falling, this time for the ninth day in a row. That's ahead of the BSP meeting, where policymakers are largely expected to maintain benchmark rates at a record low of 2%. But then again, correction here, you have the peso now at least reversing track. Based on this chart right here, you have the peso now at 48.760 to the greenback. With an agenda focused on economic growth and a campaign against corruption, former President Noynoy Aquino was aggressive in clamping down tax evaders. To achieve that, he appointed a stern figure to take the helm of the Bureau of Internal Revenue. We have her on the show this afternoon. former BIR Commissioner Kim Hinares. Good afternoon, Commissioner.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to all your viewers.
Okay, ma'am, I do understand that you are right now at the Heritage Park, awaiting, of course, the developments, given the developments that happened earlier in the day. Can you at least describe for us the mood there?
Pardon? Can you?
Can you at least describe to us the mood there over at the Heritage Park?
Well, I think everyone is sad and shocked by the turn of events because I mean, it's sudden.
Mhm. And can you give us an idea as well? When was the last time you had a communication with the president, with the former president?
Pardon? What again? Sorry.
Or when was the last time you had
Ah,
a communication or a conversation with the former president?
I had the communication with him the last time, last Saturday, because he was asking about something.
Mhm.
So he was asking about a brand, what brand of ham was famous in Hong Kong. No? So
Mhm.
that's my last communication with him.
Was your relationship with the former president always like that? I mean, you go beyond, because normally what we've experienced from 2010 to 2016 was that you were a tough commissioner, you were a gun-cutting BIR commissioner at that, and he also was into target shooting. How was a personal relationship like between you and the former president?
Well, I think it progressed from being a professional relationship to becoming a as a friend, and toward the end, I treat him like he's an elder brother, which I never had because I'm the
Mhm.
eldest in my family.
Mhm. Mhm.
So,
Now,
yeah. And after our term, siyempre, our relationship became more informal, no, because it's no longer work.
Now, also going back at least to the professional level here, Pinoy's term was famous for going after tax evaders, precisely why he put a tough tax sheriff in you. So, was it just a stop working for the former president?
What do you mean? What's the last
Was
part?
it was it just as tough working for President Noynoy Aquino? How was it like working for him?
Ah, okay. Being a commissioner of internal revenue in itself is a difficult task, but with him as the boss, it's not that difficult because he just lets you do what is right, and he does not really meddle with you. He doesn't call you up to have somebody appointed. He doesn't call you up to have somebody's case
Mhm.
uh, arreglo. He doesn't do those things.
Mhm.
He just, I think it's because we have a clear understanding of where we want to go, and for as long as we follow that route, then he leaves you with to do things.
Mhm. Now, anti-corruption has always been the main focus of the Pinoy administration, but what would you say are the other cornerstones of the Pinoy government?
Well, I guess the very cornerstone of the Pinoy government is that we, all of us, know that we are really working for the country, and we're working to make the life of people better. No? And all of us are concentrated on doing just that. No? And I think the president has only that in his mind. And for as long as all of us follow that direction, then we're good. No? So it's easy working for him because we know what he wants, and what he wants are basically what everyone wants.
Mhm. But but what would you say was the greatest milestone of the BIR under your term, under of course the presidency of Noynoy Aquino?
Well, I guess the greatest milestone is that we were able to introduce some automated filing system. We were able to help the country achieve its investment grade status, no? And we were able to elevate the reputation of the Bureau of Internal Revenue, at least during my time.
Mhm. Mhm. And then, but at the same time, you have the Aquino administration. It was also, in a way, heavily criticized for underspending, despite double-digit revenue growth. On hindsight, what would you say about the Aquino administration's fiscal policy?
Well, the question there is absorptive capacity.
Mhm,
You cannot just spend for the sake of spending. You have to spend it prudently, and I
mhm,
think that's one very significant of President Aquino is that he will not spend any money that will go to waste. If you
mhm,
cannot support it and you cannot use it properly, then he will not let you spend it because in his mind that's not his money but the money of the people.
mhm,
So I don't think it's underspending, it's spending prudently. If you cannot spend it prudently, then you should not waste people's money because it's hard-earned money, and the Bureau of Internal Revenue had a hard time collecting. He sacrificed a lot to be able to bring the Philippines to where it was up during the end of his term, and his dream was only that whoever comes after him will improve on it. No?
mhm.
So to me personally, I think he's the best president so far that the Philippines ever had, no? For being unselfish and being prudent and hardworking and being diligent. And
All
of
right.
course, he has a strong love for country.
Okay, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Again, former BIR Commissioner under the Pinoy administration, Commissioner Kim Hinares. Now let's head on over now to Times Street in Quezon City, where the Philippine flag has also been lowered to half-mast at the Aquino residence. News 5 correspondent Camille Samonte is on the ground for more details. Camille, how's the mood like there? Okay, we're having a bit of a technical difficulty now trying to reach Camille. But again, like what we reported earlier, it's been a sad day here for the nation as a whole after the passing of former President Noynoy Aquino. Now, right now, you're seeing clips on your screen here showing the Aquino sisters speaking before the press. Again, there's actress Chris Aquino. You also have their Balsi, if I'm not mistaken. We're trying to get more details as they come along. But again, you have the Aquino sisters, I think, now ready to face the press as they try to make a statement here over the passing of their brother, former President Noynoy Aquino. Again, the sisters of former President Noynoy Aquino faced the media just moments ago. They shared how Pinoy faced personal battles post-presidency in silence. They shared how Pinoy faced personal battles again for post-presidency in silence. We'll try to get more details regarding the message of the Aquino sisters. But then again, like what we mentioned earlier, a sad day, not just for the Aquino family, but for a lot of Filipinos over the passing of former President Noynoy Aquino. Again, you're seeing on your screens the sisters of former President Noynoy Aquino facing the media just moments ago. They shared how Pinoy faced personal battles post presidency in silence. And those are the biggest stories this trading day, June 24, 2021. Catch Business World Live again tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. for the market open and 3:15 p.m. for the market close. I'm Jess De Los Santos. We are One News. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines.